I arrived yesterday, got on a plane, landed, negotiated LAX. Got here just in time to drop my bags off and walk in to share a moment and a few comments with the new Supervisors Institute. Right? The new Supervisors Institute. Raise your hands if you're a new supervisor here. Round of applause for these individuals. God, what an easy job you signed up for. Clear skies, calm waters, a populace unified in an optimistic vision of the future. Woo! Easy time. God. Nah, I'm not that. I don't like sarcasm. I'm not usually a sarcastic person. Let's switch that and say difficult times, disruptive times, divisive times, and yet at the same time, all those things that I just said, they have to be swapped from sarcasm to vision, don't they? Right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do, Holly? Taking care of the safety net, those individuals, those 70% of Americans, 65 to 70% of Americans who don't have more than 2 months savings at most. I don't know about you all, but when you go out into your community, I encourage you to every once in a while ask a question. Just ask people. Say, are you worried about the future or are you confident in the future? I think you'll know what that's like. And then what you need to do is walk from that, and you need to do a whole change in perspective. And you know what you need to do? You need to go to a damn school. And you ask the same thing, and you listen, and you see an absolute dramatic change in perspective. You see hope, you believe in it, you see vision, you see people open to learning, people who are challenging their assumptions. You see kids who are striving, and it puts a resolve back in your belly that this is not just about youthful enthusiasm. This is about resolve, right? This is about resolve. This is about duty. I have this crazy kind of system of things, just like you all, that fly through my head. And one of them is that we are here. I think about back onto my days as a Peace Corps volunteer, digging trenches in Bolivia with a group of 40 guys, chewing coca leaves, making water systems, lost in the middle of nowhere. And they used to say something, which is, this is the toughest job you'll ever love. The toughest job you'll ever love. You know, how do you work so deeply in your community and be everybody's everyday everything without taking on the angst, the frustrations, the hopelessness? How do you take that and still hold on to your sense of self and your sense of purpose and your ability to be optimistic and get up every day and dig in? Because you truly get to be an entrepreneur in this position. You don't get to be a victim in this position. How do you develop the calluses to live with that kind of lifestyle and at the same time not become callous? How to stay open and listen and care because you're so tired of hearing the cacophony of wackadoos yelling at you, as I call them. The biggest pet peeve for me in the world is the people with strongly held, lightly informed opinions. How do you get that noise out and find that person who comes in and has the audacity for the first time in their life to come to a county board meeting, speak truth to you, and for you not to just be closed from it? How do you do that? I think one of the ways you do it is you come here. Like, this isn't a speech. I got no speech. I'm just having a conversation with y'all. I think you come here. I think you come here because even if it's your colleagues, I love my colleagues back home, it's nice to be with people who know my life, my world, my issues, my commitment, my failures, but are not up in my grill. We don't have to vote with each other. We don't have to be with each other in closed session. We don't have to do that. You have to find camaraderie and fellowship. It is the only thing that is right here and ready for us to grab onto and to give us the energy to go back home and do what's needed. I get the chance this year to be the president of the National Association of Counties. I could really care less about the title. Just like when I did this, I care about what we do with it. I care about what you do with your time as a supervisor. I care about what I do with this opportunity for more than me. Couple things we're working on, right? You all are a part of a family, not just 58 strong here in the state, 3,069 counties, boroughs, and parishes across this great nation. Think about it. County was the original form of government, 1620s, created as shires, right? Counties have always been there, they will always be there, no matter what you feel about different political parties, administrations, changes. We are the ones who will keep delivering in the trenches, no matter what happens. And you have to take that duty and remind yourself, like I have to each day with my colleagues, is that as much as I hate this scar tissue and these calluses, I'm still right where I want to be, in the mix. Not the person screaming at the TV. This year, what are we doing at NACo? Well, I want to keep it pretty succinct because I am not a guy who's getting on a plane and traveling across this country and going to every conference. I am more about what we absolutely have to do. Number one, you all know this. This is a mantra. The compliance gods are killing us in this country, especially in government. Grant writing, grant management, grant managers, hiring, back and forth. The amount of time we spend on paperwork to be able to get resources to deliver kills us. America Rescue Plan Act, the direct allocations to us as counties, the ability for counties to self-define whether you're going to build a public health lab and a morgue, whether you're going to go after infrastructure, vital community services, whatever that is, that has to be the future. Especially in a world where now we're going to have AI writing the RFPs, AI writing the proposals, AI grading the proposals, right? Like, what really is it that gets us into these areas where we get the resources that are needed to be able to deploy and fix the foundations underneath our feet? Second thing, we just launched an intergovernmental task force on disaster recovery, reform, management. This is not just another sounding board area. I started this with a rough draft, working with all of you on all of our amazing disaster work and resiliency, and it's like, okay, Stafford Act reform. We got 2 senators, Padilla and Cassidy, are both interested in writing a reform of the Stafford Act. You know, which communities, like my colleagues, either Michelle talking recently in Humboldt County or Jessica Paiska in Lake County, small rural counties, it doesn't matter how many houses burn or how many are hurt by an earthquake or a structure issue, you can't qualify for FEMA if you're in a small rural county, right? What happens with the individual assistance? Under the Stafford Act, how's the Emergency Watershed Protection Act working? Why do my fire survivors call the Small Business Administration GAP loan program the fictitious loan program? Do a Congressional Research Service report on it, hold a hearing, do something, do something, do something. That's what I want this work to do, right? That's what we need it to do. It needs to inform actual change. Third thing, transition in administration. Anybody, we just had an election, right? Is anybody tired? I can hear like I'm usually the hype guy. Woo! There's a lot of malaise, there's a lot of exhaustion, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of things going on. There was a guy who came up to me, a cowboy hat named Greg Chilcutt. A cowboy hat named Greg Chilcutt came up to me out of Montana, a big leader at NACo, and he said, "Why would I vote for you to be the president of NACo if I am absolutely sure that Donald Trump is going to win another election in 3 years?" And I said, "You know why? This is because I'll put you in that room instead of me. Not because of political divisiveness or other. I just choose not to have ego or insecurity get in the way of who should be delivering what message." That's simple. So we're working on a transition strategy, getting people on the transition teams, using the fact that this federal administration wants to cut red tape. Okay, well then let's do more direct allocations to counties, right? Get practical. Do something. I'm not just going to scream, right? I'm going to get busy. So, life is good in spite of it all. I had a chance to pick up, like going through some stuff, organizing at my house, and I picked up this thing and I was like, oh, that's one of my journals from the old days. First page, I think I see, where's my colleague, Susan Gore? Susan, are you here? Susan, thank you for your service. Susan's retiring. Round of applause to Susan and everybody who's stepping out. So this is like this whole mixture of like pictures from my kids, Grandma, Jacob. The first thing is 6 months ago, the most destructive fire in California history struck our home in Sonoma. I go through this. I was just kind of looking through this. I was going to take some notes, but it's full. It's full of things like, how do you deal with burnout, it says here. It's talking about, embracing the philosophy of imperfect, relentless progress being the only progress. But then it also has my kids' math and all these weird pages of mermaids and dogs and hi daddy and, things like this. And I just looked at this, and then on the front just says, by Martin Luther King Jr., the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. As I leave you today, I want to ask you to do one thing. First of all, new supervisors, please stand up. Please stand up. Okay. Okay, I ask each other supervisor to do one thing. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to stand up. Please keep standing, new supervisors. Just come on. There you go. Good job. It was nice talking to you earlier. In church, we do something called passing the peace. I want to ask us to do a little passing of the purpose. So I'd like to ask everybody to stand up, look at the person next to you, handshake, hug, say hello to him.
Love you, man.
Love you. Love you, man. I do.
Nice job, brother.
Okay. That's enough. That's enough. Sit your butts back down.
My brother.
I know it's always hard to get it back in order after we've shaken it up. Yeah. But hey, everybody, everyone's exhausted. The world is effed up, and you all are in positions you have chosen to be in to make things better. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. What a great day to be together and a great day to be alive. Thank you.